Welcome down the line. I'm your host, as always, Juan Roque, with my partner in crime, the Rhino, Ryan Knowles. Rhino, great to be with you here tonight.
Yes, sir.
Coming to you from Gangplank Studios in Chandler, Arizona, right here in beautiful downtown. And of course, the show is brought to you by the Viral Marketplace. But you know what, Rhino, we're not going to waste any more time.
Nope.
Huge game this Saturday.
Yes.
Big road test. A lot of things that were maybe there to prove at ASU 27-17, Rhino, in sparkling fashion. And like you said, it wasn't pretty, but they went into Strawberry Canyon. You mentioned that a lot of times last week and took care of business.
Yeah, absolutely. First win at Berkeley since 1997.
My rookie year in the NFL.
Yeah.
That was a long time ago.
15 years since their last win at Berkeley. And, you know, like I said, yeah, it wasn't pretty, but they got the job done. Very good job of managing the ball. They did not turn it over, which I think was
that
huge
I thought was a
for
big,
the second
big
straight
time,
game.
Big time statistic.
Yeah, which
right
was very big. Cal basically beat themselves in this game, though, with 12 penalties for 119 yards.
Wasn't it refreshing to see a team beat themselves?
Yeah, it kind of.
Now we kind of know what teams that we played last year that beat us felt like.
It's the other side of the mirror there. I mean, it really is.
Oh man,
I agree. What you know, those Dennis Erickson teams really did to themselves and really beat themselves with all those penalties. ASU was only penalized once for 15 yards. There were a couple of declined penalties against them, but we won't talk about that.
Hey,
Taylor
one
Kelly,
penalty, we'll take it.
Taylor Kelly, I felt like responded very well in the fourth quarter. I'm going to point to that first because after Zach Maynard led the Bears down the field and they pulled to within 3, he was able to drive the Devils down the field very well and hook up with Kevin Ozier for his second touchdown of the game and to put the game out of reach. Very good job by the quarterback. Very good job by our quarterback, Taylor Kelly. You know, a guy who's really not playing like a guy who had never started before this season.
And that drive, Rhino, to me,
very impressed by him.
Maybe that drive to me, Rhino, I didn't mean to cut you off there, buddy, but I think that drive may have defined ASU season. Because that was an opportunity for them to let it slip away.
Yes.
To you know, another Mizzou, you know, where they had a chances late to put the game away and they couldn't.
Couple chances.
This time they were able to do it. Exactly.
Yes.
And this time they did it mistake-free. I thought it was one hell of an effort. I'll tell you what, I was jumping up and down my living room. My neighbor's piping out. I was going crazy.
There you go. And yeah, I mean, going down the numbers, I mean, Taylor Kelly, we talked about him, 26 of 45, 292 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Kevin Ozier with 2 of those touchdowns.
Someone you've been high on.
2 of his 4 receptions. Yeah, a guy who was, you know, former walk-on, a blue-collar guy, you know, made some tough catches in that game. I mean, that right before the half, his touchdown catch where he took a couple shots right on the goal line, and still managed to hang on to the ball.
Double yards, man. That's what those are called, baby. Double yards.
That's one tough dude right there. And then Rashad Ross, of course, with another strong game. He's dropped a couple balls in this game, but still felt like I felt like he came through with 7 receptions and 84 yards. You know, we talked about you know, no turnovers, very few penalties. That one penalty came on special teams, which was really good to see. Run game struggled a little bit. You know, only a little over 2 yards to carry, 116 yards total. Cam Marshall accounting for 69 of those, but they were able to get it done when it mattered.
Right.
I mean, unfortunately,
they can improve in the run blocking.
They got a little bit stifled in the red zone. I'm a little bit concerned.
I don't like the 3 sacks and the 6 pressures. That kind of pissed me off because the O-line, they're better than what they showed.
Yeah, exactly.
We talked about DeAndre Johnson, and that guy just had a monster game with 8 tackles. And the other kid, Brendan Scarlett,
he was all over the field.
You didn't feel like he was going to be a big factor. And I kind of begged to differ. Didn't mean to contradict you last week, Rhino, but that guy had a monster game too.
He had a good game, yeah, he did. But one thing that I just don't like the execution that we're seeing right now from ASU in the red zone. I mean, this is not. I mean, they're going to put points up on the board, but they are not an explosive team.
And 3 missed field goals doesn't help.
Yeah, a team that's not going to blow you away with 30+ yard gains like that. I mean, they're not going to get long touchdown plays. So I mean, they work the ball down the field. They're very methodical, and when they get in the red zone, they've got to come away with points. 7 red zone trips, 2 touchdowns, 2 field goals, 3 missed field goals.
Right, 1 was blocked, so that's protection.
1 was blocked,
and 2 were just what I would call brain farts by Alex Garrett. Just wasn't able to get it done
by Alex Garrett, and that's unacceptable. 7 red zone trips, you got to come away with at least 5 touchdowns.
How different is that game, Rhino, when it's 35?
Oh, absolutely.
35-17.
Absolutely.
It's a whole different ballgame.
Much different. And that was the big thing with me. I think that ASU, Mike Norvell, his play calling around the goal line is just still way too cute, for lack of a better term. Just keep it simple, stupid. I mean, he's just
punch it in.
Trying to bring Eubank in, trying to get him some work.
So we talked about my beef with that.
Yeah, and
I don't like
trying to just trying to throw some different looks at the defense, which is fine. But when you need points up on the board and you're trying to get out ahead, this is not the time to be working on things.
No, absolutely not.
Wait till you're.
You do that on practice on Wednesday or Tuesday.
Wait till you're 3 touchdowns ahead at least.
Yes,
until
I agree.
Before working on stuff like that. So
100%, I agree.
So and then also Garut, leaving all those points out on the field. It started in the Utah game. He missed a couple in that game, and it's really carried over. And for a young kicker, it's all psychological. I mean, when you start missing kicks like that, I mean, we're seeing it right now with guys like Steven Gostkowski. Yeah. Steven Gostkowski for the Patriots right now. He's missed more field goals, I think, this year already than he did all of last year. So, I mean, just things like that. I mean, don't really sit all that well with me. You can't leave points on the field against the Oregons and the USCs of the conference. No. You're going to get blown away.
Or even at this point, the UCLA's, because they've been playing strong.
Very true.
And that's a game that now
you look up and down.
Could be a toss-up.
You look up and down the conference. I mean, in talking about other teams, not just Oregon, and USC, the Washingtons, the Oregon States, the UCLA's, teams that can keep it close with you. And if you the games like that are big differences between field goals and touchdowns. Absolutely. Execution's got to be better in the red zone, and the running game needs to be better. I'd like to see them open up a few more holes in this game, but
I'd like to see the linemen just run people over.
The star of this game was the defense.
Without question.
Very
Will
solid.
Sutton. Oh yeah. Number 90.
That man is a beast.
We got to salute Will Sutton.
Sir.
Will Sutton,
sir.
Holy crap! I have never seen a more strong, spectacular performance,
especially for
by
a
defensive tackle, the way that kid played on Saturday.
Especially for a guy who a couple of years ago had to sit out the whole season because of academic issues.
You got to cheer for a guy like that. Worked his way back and then kicking ass the way he has.
Exactly. For him to come back the way he has, and they sacked Zach Maynard, a mobile quarterback guy who can get out and run a little bit. They were able to contain him. And they sacked him 7 times. That's huge.
I love that.
That's huge. And
Junior Nailey had 2.
Yeah, exactly.
One in the fourth quarter on a critical play.
Yeah, that's right. And then he was held to 9 of 28 passing, only
126 yards.
Yeah, and a touchdown. Only 28 rushing yards, which was very big.
Right.
I mean, like I said, you got to keep him contained because he loves to get outside the pocket, and that's where he beats you. When he has that option of tucking it and running, or throwing it down the field, and ASU was really able to shore that up, and that's where to me they were, because Maynard is not an accurate quarterback. He's a former option quarterback at Buffalo, and so for ASU's defense to come out the way they did and really dominate the line of scrimmage, they did give up a couple big plays in the run. But they were able to get
37-yard game right at the beginning of the game.
And they made Cal one-dimensional. They made them a running team. And they were able to stack the box there and really keep Maynard and Sofeli and those other weapons contained.
And one player that I got to mention is Brandon McGee. Because Brandon McGee, now it looks like the Achilles is getting better. Each week he looks stronger and stronger right now. He is the heart and soul of that defense, and he is just emerging as the guy that everyone is kind of rallying around against. And he makes everyone around him better. You could just see it. This is our leader. This is a guy who I thought last year was going to have a big season. Of course, didn't play. I almost think that was the biggest thing. The best thing that could happen to us was him not playing last season, because now he's the catalyst of that defense.
This year. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and just going back to, like you said,
he can play on Sundays.
Will Sutton, Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Week for his
Congratulations, Will.
8 tackles, 4 for loss.
It was his birthday today.
That's right. That's right. 8 tackles, 4 for loss. We talked about the 3 sacks and a forced fumble.
Oh man.
So and then Junior Agnelli with his 2 sacks. Felt like the secondary, Devron Carr was getting picked on a little bit by Keenan Allen, but I felt like he still came away with a pretty solid game.
And we knew Keenan was going to make plays.
When the opposing quarterback goes 9 of 28, as a secondary, you got to feel like that was a win.
Absolutely.
And then,
I graded them an A. I think they did the job.
And they did give up some big plays. They did give up 159 rush yards. So Felly and C.J. Anderson got their yards, but they were able to keep
the bulk of them were on 4 plays.
Yeah, and other than those 4 plays, I think the average yard per play was like 2.6. So for them to hold them down like that and still survive after giving up big plays, I think was huge. And the defense to me has been the star of the past couple weeks without a doubt.
And that'll do it. So that definitely was a huge win for ASU, 27-17. They hadn't won a game in California since Stanford in 2008, Rhino, when there was a 41-21 victory, and they just haven't been able to get it done since then. And definitely a change of pace, the way they got it done, mistake-free. That's going to do it for this segment, folks. When we come back, we're going to be getting into a little bit of Roque's rant, talk about some social media and how it kind of pisses me off. We'll be right back. Don't go away.